Here at the Pottawattamie County Fair in Avoca, catching up with many of the people showing throughout the day. Tell us your name, where you're from, some of the stuff you're doing this week.
Hi, my name is Berkeley, and I'm from Henderson, Iowa, and I had 2 market sheep, I had a bottle goat, and tomorrow I have a bottle calf.
So you're staying busy this week. Sheep and goat shows going on today. How did those go for you?
Good. I got 4 blues and a purple.
For those that maybe don't know, what do those mean?
So a purple is like the best you can do, and then a blue is like you did pretty good.
How exciting is it to have your hard work rewarded like that with a good showing here today?
It's really exciting because you work so hard all year for this, and then you come and you show, and then you get to find out that that's your winning animal.
Talk about the animals that you're showing throughout the week. Let our listeners know what you would like them to know about them.
So I have 2 pins of 3 of broiler chickens, and they got second in both their classes, and so I was pretty excited about that. And then I had my bottle calf tomorrow, which hopefully that goes well, and then I had my goat and sheep show, and I still have my showmanship to do. So
of those, do you have a favorite as far as which one to show, or which one you like showing more?
Probably definitely my bottle calf. She's like my baby, so.
Is that why it's your favorite, or is it just easier to show the bottle calf?
She's just my favorite because she's so low maintenance and she's just really friendly.
Now, and they're not going to know you said this, do you have a least favorite to show?
Probably goats. Goats are very dramatic.
Yeah, and I've heard also a lot of people say they're very stubborn. So for you, how do you try to work with that?
You just keep calm in the show ring and try to work through it as best as you can and not let the judge see you struggling. So
when you're showing, you mentioned showing chickens, a bottle calf. How different is it to go from maybe showing a bottle calf to a goat? Are there different ways you have to go about it?
It's kind of all the same, except for goats you have to be a little bit more gentle with because they're obviously dramatic and they are a little bit stubborn, so you kind of have to talk to goats more than you do cows. And I always kind of give my animals like pep talks and be like, you're going to be okay, and that helps them a lot. So
talk about staying busy working with these animals throughout the year. It's not like you're just showing up and showing them.
No, so you have to feed them at least 2 or 3 times a day, and you got to go out and check their water and make sure they're okay and they're not fighting with each other or trying to get out of your fence or anything.
Aside from showing, what's your favorite part about the fair, or is that your favorite part about the fair?
My favorite part is probably the static exhibits and just getting to see all the people that bring all these amazing animals.
Did you do any static exhibits this week?
Yes, I did 4 photographies and I did a woodworking.
Tell our listeners about those.
So my woodworking was considered for state, and then 2 of my photographies were considered for state, and then right now I have 1 of my photographies going to state. So
that's awesome. What was your woodworking project?
It was a memorial box for my great-grandpa who passed away. So
that's awesome, and that's something I'm sure that takes a lot of work leading up to the fair to put together.
Yeah, yep, it definitely does. You have to go out to your garage or your shop and work on it until fair time, and you got to get it ready and get your write-ups done. So
what would you say is your favorite memory at the fair all time?
My favorite memory was the first time I showed my bottle calf because that was really special. I ended up winning a purple with that one, and I just thought it was so cool that it was my first year and I got a purple. So
weren't nervous or anything?
I always get nervous before I go into the showing because I'm like, what if they jump? What if they run away? So, but it always goes well. So.
Here at Pottawattamie County Fair in Avoca, fun stuff going on throughout the day, really fun stuff going throughout the week. We've been talking with many of the people involved this week. Tell us your name, where you're from, some of the stuff you're doing this week.
I'm Becca Cody. I'm from Carson, Iowa, and some of the stuff I'm doing this week are showing some cows, the Queen Contest, and a photography project.
Also, you picked up a big honor earlier this week. How exciting is that?
It's really amazing. I was so surprised. It was crazy.
Yeah, so being named County Fair Queen, what were the thoughts when you found out it was you? How exciting was that?
Well, I was just thinking, wow, this is amazing. Like, I didn't think it would actually happen. And then when it happened, I was like, oh, this is awesome. I get to represent something so much more and so much amazing more than me. Sorry, that was bad grammar.
I like amazinger. I like it. What do you feel was the thing for you that maybe impressed the judges?
I'm very involved in my community. I do lots of sports. I'm also part of the FFA chapter at Riverside and the Carson Commanders 4-H Club, along with running cross and track, and then I also play basketball.
How do you balance all that?
It's a lot of just figuring out your priorities and finding out what's most important to you.
Speak about the process that everyone goes through as a county fair queen candidate.
Well, the first process that you go through is the application process. So you have to apply, and that's a lot of like figuring out the right words to say and all the things you need to put on your application. And then the next part was getting prepared for your interview. The Pottawattamie County actually had a workshop that all of us queens went to, so that was nice. And then I also talked to some past queens, and they kind of helped me out to prepare for my interview. And then the interview was the last part of the process, and that's where you got judged by 3 judges, and we also had a meal with them.
How nerve-wracking is that whole process?
Oh, it was really nerve-wracking. I was nervous about everything. Actually, when I was on stage, I was like shaking. It was really nervous.
It obviously worked out for you, and it creates an even busier week for you now.
Yes, I'm really excited actually. It's fun to just be at fair, and having a crown on my head makes it even more fun.
Were there other stuff you're involved with during the fair throughout the week aside from this?
Yes, I'm showing my not Angus, semi-heifer tomorrow morning at the cattle show, and then with Fair Queen stuff, I'm also going to go to like the mud bogs and all the fun activities.
Yeah, so you get to stay busy, and then of course, the big thing with being County Fair Queen is coming up in a couple weeks of the State Fair.
Yes, the State Fair. I haven't got much information about that. It's all coming at me quickly. I'm really excited for the State Fair. I got to learn a song I hear and prepare for another interview.
How exciting and/or nerve-wracking is that whole situation?
I'm just so excited. I'm going to use State Fair as just a fun thing. I get to meet a bunch of new people and another opportunity to get an interview.
Here at the East Pottawattamie County Fair in Avoca. Lots of fun stuff going on throughout the week. The Goat and Sheep Show is going down today. We've been catching up with many of the people showing throughout the day. Tell us your name, where you're from, and some of the stuff you're doing this week.
My name is Braden Lund. I'm from Avoca. This week I'm showing sheep and hanging out. That's pretty much it.
You've been doing this for quite a while, haven't you?
Yep. Ever since whenever you can start, that first Discovery year. I've been showing sheep since then, so got a little experience doing it.
And what is that experience like? What has it been like for you throughout the years showing here at the fair?
It's been good. Started off, I used to get really nervous doing it because, it's something different. But over time, you get more comfortable doing it. You become a better showman. It just becomes more fun and a lot easier over time.
Aside from goats and sheep, is that the only thing you're showing here this week, or what's the week look like for you?
Yeah, this week we're only showing sheep. My little brother's got a goat, so we've been working with that. Other than that, that's pretty much it, just focusing on the sheep part of it.
Talk about your livestock. I know they can be kind of adventurous at times.
Ours, we were pretty busy with baseball for a while, but these last few weeks we've been really working a lot with them and getting down there to my grandma's where they are a lot more and walking them and setting them up and stuff. So it's been pretty good, just kind of the normal year, been pretty successful so far, so hopefully keep that going.
Yeah, I was going to ask, for you showing today, how'd you feel it went?
Good. Won overall breeding ewe, so that felt good, and then just got reserve champion lightweight to this dude over here, so doing good so far. Hopefully keep it going.
Yeah, you mentioned your brother also showing. We'll talk to him here throughout the day as well. I know you guys are competitors. Is there a little bit of competitive nature between you guys out there?
Yeah, obviously being brothers is going to be competitive in nature, but at the end of the day, if he's doing well, then I love to see that, and if I'm doing well, he'll love to see that. So each other's best friends, but best competition as well. So
you mentioned playing baseball, and I know you're busy year-round with sports, so talk about the challenge of adding one more thing to it and working on this year-round.
Yeah, summer for sports, being a four-sport athlete, you got something every week, most days of the week, weights in the morning, football, basketball tournaments, all that. So you kind of got to balance your time, and you got to make sure that you keep part of your time out for these sheep, and because they take a lot of work to feed and water and just work with and get them ready for the fair. So kind of that time management aspect has kind of helped me a lot with that, but we make it work, and it's been going good so far.
What's your favorite thing about this fair, and your favorite memory when you look back on the many years you've been involved?
Oh man, my favorite thing about the fair is probably coming every year and seeing the same people, and that's always a good thing if you keep people out for 4-H and people doing stuff. And it's like a big family at the fair. It's cool, fun to hang out with my friends. Some of my best memories are probably, obviously showing sheep, but other than that, just kind of hanging out with my friends and going to like the mud races and the tractor pulls and doing that with them, and just a good week to bond and have fun.
Yeah, you mentioned the mud races, tractor pulls. There's other stuff going on here this week aside from just showing. So what are some of the things that are appealing to you about this week?
Something new they did was last night they had a big food truck night. So there's a ton of people, most people I've seen here in a long time. So it was full. Food trucks were over there. Everyone was having a good time. It was awesome seeing that many people at the fair, a lot more than there has been. So that's always a good thing. Just those little things like that attract more people to the fair and see all the animals and do all that stuff, and just cool to see that many people here.
I take it, did you test out the food truck, see what was good there?
Yeah, I did. I had some pad thai chicken from, I think it was Pim's or something. It was good. So glad I tried that, yeah.
Was that the only thing or the best thing you had?
Oh, I had some homemade ice cream. Yeah, that was good too. That's about it though.
And you can't go wrong with that either. And a lot of years, the county fair, it's like 190 degrees, it feels like. Couldn't ask for a better day, could you?
Oh, no, we're super lucky. Cloudy, the sun's not out, it's a little breeze. This is the best it's probably been since I've been here. So usually it's about 105 with the sun just beating down, no breeze, and you're just sweating the whole time. But we got a little lucky this year.
We're here at the East Pottawattamie County Fair in Avoca. We've got the goat and sheep shows going on here today, catching up with many of the young people that are showing throughout the day. Tell us your name, where you're from, some of the stuff you're doing here this week.
My name's Kyler Reekin. I'm from Oakland, Iowa. I'm part of the Carson Commanders 4-H Club. This week I'm doing a lot of different stuff. Today, obviously, I'm showing sheep for the sheep show. I also have done communication exhibits this week with 4 different ones qualifying for state fair. And I also brought a series of photos that I showed for static exhibits.
So staying busy. Dive into everything you're doing here this week with what you're showing and the exhibits.
Oh yeah, so I'll start off with sheep. We're showing them here this morning. There's a lot of hard work, months of hard work that goes into it. You got to make sure they're trained well and they're washed and that they look good for the judge, and that's really what it's all about. Some days, the judge just doesn't like them as much as they do other sheep, and that's okay. It's one person's opinion on that specific day, and if it doesn't work out so well for you, you move on, but if it does, good for you, and that's really what you got to remember. And so for your other projects too, just the same thing. It's what that judge likes on that day, so you got to put in the time and commitment, and hopefully it works out well for you.
Based on your experiences, what do you feel goes into showing a good sheep? I mean, what are some principles that you try to instill?
You really got to get a good relationship with your sheep first. Have them trust you. Even coming up to you and just giving you a sniff and then staying there instead of running away, that's a good thing to have. Make sure that you're working them as much as you can, if not every day, at least every other day. Establishing that relationship and getting them to where they trust you, and they'll go anywhere you go.
Have you been showing sheep for quite some time, or how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this, I think this is my 6th year showing sheep, so definitely got a few fairs under my belt, and it's another fair, and going to put my best foot forward out here today.
When you look at your fair experiences, what's your favorite memory, favorite thing about the fair?
If I had to think, I'd say it's the times I qualified for state fair. The atmosphere up there, it's uncomparable. And even a great fair as East Pot, it's pretty small in comparison to the state fair. And it's so great to be able to take something from here and show it to everybody across the state.
How nice is it on a day like today to be showing and it not be 147 degrees like it is sometimes this time of year?
Oh, it's so nice. My mom was just joking. Today you're probably not going to have sweat dripping off your back and off your forehead. And I was like, well, that's good because I don't ever like having that. But it's really nice for the sheep, too. It keeps them a lot calmer so they don't get stressed out and they do what you want them to in the show ring.